Yo, JD here, Limitless, and as you can see on F1 2020, as always, we are back online with a nice 5-lap race, which is just nice and chilled. So if you want to join these races, make sure you follow me down on Twitter in the description. I will be doing this normally Wednesday nights or twice a week, just at random times. So just make sure you follow me on there if you want to join these open lobbies. But we are around Hungary, a track that I don't do too often, and quite often it is very, very chaotic, especially with these preset setups. So everyone is using the exact same one here, and we are starting in P13 in this race. So just waiting for the countdown and stuff as well. Just trying to get into that mindset in the Alfa Romeo repping team. Waiting for those 5 lights. And as they go out now, someone just jumps the start on the right-hand side, which really caught me off guard, and I just get an absolutely shocking start. So we're back in P17, but the key is to just be as calm as you possibly can. Let everyone else just take themselves out. And in this video, this is probably one of the smoothest 5-lap races that I've ever done. So just picking my moments very, very well, making sure I keep myself calm, being patient, but also knowing when to be aggressive, like here, deciding to use the overtake button, going around the outside at the top of the hill. Woo. Was patient for that first corner, then went on the aggression up behind XRC, who did my graphics for me on Twitter recently. Make sure if you want to get some graphics, go down the inside of him, as I'm just trying to just destroy him at the moment. But as I said, make sure you check him out. He is an absolute wizard when it comes to graphics. But he gets a poor exit, so again, knowing when to be aggressive, we decide to put the overtake button going down the inside of this right-hander, which doesn't happen too often. Sorry I had to do that and show that here, but that was a very, very satisfying move. And again, message of this video is knowing when to be patient, but then also knowing when to be aggressive as well. So we're now up into P7. You can still hear my throttle pedal squeaking like a bird. I still need to apply that grease onto it. So we've gone from P13 to P17, now back to P7, as the Ferrari just goes super, super wide. They're coming back on the track. Do we make contact? No, we don't. We're behind GSR Luke in the Red Bull, so we decide to go down the inside, which then puts him out wide here. So we're going to give him the right-hander, and like we did on the first lap, we're going to do exactly the same again, using the overtake button, using that momentum. I'm on a mission, and we get the move done. A very nice sequence of moves as Sparks in the Renault just comes off track after having a horrendous moment, being aggressive once again, getting the move done before the corner, hitting that apex very nicely. And now we're into P4 in this race. So this has been a very, very good couple of laps. We haven't even done 2 laps yet, a lap and a half so far. So going through into the final sector here, you can see we're up against another Red Bull, the Slap Bus X1, if I can say that right here. And everyone is using the same setup, as long as they actually chose preset 4, which, for some piece of advice, always choose preset 4 if you're going to be using default setup. But you can see we're using some very, very different lines, so making sure I get a good exit, and you can see how much of a better exit we got. So we're going to use a little bit more of the overtake, boost the ERS, going down to turn 1. He goes in very, very deep. I think he thought I was going to go down the inside. He's come back on track, make a little bit of contact, but we're going to use the rest of our deployment to make sure we get the move done, leaving a bit of room on the inside. It's so easy to lock up the front left, going through into that. And now we are into P2 in this race, and just making sure no one repeats the move I did on the previous 2 laps going up here. And now we're coming up to the P1 car of UFL Zocker, if I've said that right. So on this lap and the next lap, we are just going to really just save our ERS. There's no point in really using it right now, because if I used it all now and then got the overtake, if he was able to stick with me, which is quite easy to do in this game, unless you've got a serious pace advantage, then he may be able to attack me at the end of this race. So coming through into here now, going into the penultimate corner, we are easily going to get within the DRS zone. But this next lap, I was really thinking of trying to set a new fastest lap at the end of the race. You can see we're going much tighter, getting a good exit, but we're not going to use any of the ERS deployment actually going out of the slipstream just to try and cool down my engine ever so slightly. Because something I mentioned before, sometimes I go and lean not just to get some good wheel spin, but really to cool down the engine, because then that will allow me to use a lot of more power, or a lot more potential of the engine. Because if it is overcooking, then it's just not going to work very well. Someone else sets a fast lap of the race, so I definitely clocked that. And you can see the famous red light, which always seems to come on either under 10% ERS, or they've used all their deployment this lap. So I think he's probably used all of, oh sorry, he's under 10% ERS, I believe, in fact, because the light has gone off again. So that definitely is the case here. So we'll just go sit behind him here, just try and save all of the ERS, making sure I get a very good run off this last corner. You can see 106 degrees for that front left tyre. It's with these default setups, it really is brutal on the tyre temps, because they're just so understeer. You have to turn and do so much rotation to it. So going to here, we let him have the corner, going in tighter on the exit. Now I'm going to use the ERS here. So he's going very defensive, but this should be quite an easy pass, because you can see the difference when you're low on the ERS. You are sitting duck on this straight. So this is all about trying to reclaim the fastest lap of the race, just trying to get those maximum points that I possibly can here. So going into this left-hander, don't have to quite hit the apex, just let the camber of the corner do the work for you. And using overtake as we're going flat out through here, that's sometimes a little bit nerve-wracking. Got at the top of the hill, going purple in this first sector, running out pretty wide, but I think that's our first invalidation, so we can get away with that one on this occasion, because they're already out of the second window that we need here. And going through these sequence of corners, you can see we've kept our tyres in check very well. Although the front left is on fire, I think everyone's tyres are on fire, and we didn't get an invalidation through there, which is quite surprising. Going through to this corner, we're going to get an invalidation this time, so that is our second one. If we got one more, then we would get 3 second time penalty. As the guy behind actually does have a 3 second time penalty. So going through that middle sector, we want purple, because the tyres are really starting to go off now here. And going into this last corner, just throwing it in everything that I can, using overtake on the exit here. Are we going to beat the fastest lap? No, we don't. We didn't get it. The tyres were absolutely done at the end of that race. But I really hope you enjoyed that. For a 5-lapper, for a 5-lap online race, that's probably one of the smoothest ones I've had in terms of just breezing through the field. Good moments of patience and good moments of aggression. Definitely these kind of things you can really learn for your league racing. And racing like this, and in 25% races, is honestly the place where I learned it the most. So thank you so much for the support on the channel. Absolutely insane. And I will catch you very soon. Peace.